Welcome everyone to the Watchlist, your virtual weekly TV guide right here on the Latin Nerds Network, ready to talk about all the shows, documentaries, films released on streaming over the past week, give you our best recommendations or non-recommendations, as the case may be, let you know what you should be watching, and of course at the end of the show, let you know what's coming out. We have 2 weeks worth of releases for you, so you too can create your very own watch list. Joining us as always is Senor Jaime, aka Chewy. What it is, what it was, what it shall be.
What up, brother? How about them Cowboys?
Relaxing.
Yes.
It's not ruin this with Talks to Cowboys. They'll be ruined later on, about 3 or 4 hours from now, whatever it is. So get back and check this on winning, goddammit. New to the channel. Again, we're here every Sunday letting you know what we should be on because people always say there's nothing on TV. That's bullshit. We're here to either contrary to that opinion. There's plenty to watch, and we'll get into that right now. Big week, kind of. Actually, it was a big week of releases. We did get the finale of Arcade. I haven't finished watching Arcade. I need to go.
I have not. I've only seen one of the final three,
Yeah, it was.
but I like that. I'm gonna reserve judgment until it's over.
No, I got
But
went to the store. I saw two. We were gonna see three time out yesterday. So I don't know. I don't want. We'll dive into that next week. But that's obviously going on, etc., etc. But this week, Chewy, let's start with Paramount. Its usual Sunday, really. Paramount is Sunday day, apparently. Sunday is Paramount Day. That's when all the shows drop on Paramount. And all the shows, of course, made by Tyler Sheridan. And producer, writer, whatever, all Tulsa King, Mayor of Kingstown, Yellowstone, etc., etc. Lioness, I think, was one of his as well.
uh,
Um,
yes, that's
I
correct.
believe so,
Yes.
yeah. It's actually pretty good this year. So yeah, Landman is this new one. This one is focusing on the oil industry, particularly Billy Bob Thornton, who is, like a better word, a fixer for a big oil company. What does whatever needs to get done, from large scale to little scale, focusing on him. He's trying to do his daily duties to, severe accidents and lawsuits for John Hamm, who is his boss. Demi Moore's in this, who she hasn't appeared yet. And of course, his family, his daughter, his wife who's divorced, all in this, and it's kind of focusing on that, dysfunction. And his life is one big dysfunction, to say at least. 2 episodes dropping last week. It's be a weekly drop. Chewy, just the Tyler Sheridan scale, where would you place this?
Well, I mean, fairly high, but there's a couple of points. One, once again, we're in Texas, and who do they kill off in their very first episode? People of color. What the fuck? Not just one, but three. And mind you, Michael Pena needed to eat. That man ain't coming back to him,
That's
and
true.
they kill him off. I'm like, what the hell is this,
The
man?
guy from
No love,
yeah,
no respect. Thank you, Texas. Thank you, Tyler Sheridan. That's my soap.
that's your hit. That's your hood, dude. I'll just
Huh?
tell you.
It's just
I'm just
really
here.
ridiculous.
Here in Miami, the Cubans live, dude. So I don't want to tell you. We protect our own down here. So I don't want to tell you.
Yeah, I guess this part they don't, man. Everyone white, or all the Latinos, and they just kill them off. Whatever,
Just
dime
like
a
that,
dozen.
dude. Now we just left
We're
all
gonna
white
talk
people,
about
and
it. Make them all go replace them.
Billy Bob.
What the hell? No, but seriously, my wife said, it's like, how the hell did they kill off Michael Penny in the first episode? What is this about, man?
Bait and switch, baby.
Oh, Lord. The second thing, I actually enjoyed it, right? Obviously, I have a certain familiarity with the subject matter, not only being here, but being in the industry for most of my career. Um, Obviously, it's playing off as a very stereotypical behavior, and maybe overly so. I mean, the Billy Bob Thornton. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. I know there's qualities and they exist, but he just takes it to the extreme. I mean, from cutting the finger to typical divorce guy, whatever, 500,000. I mean, sometimes it's plausible deniability, and it's like, come on, guys,
He's
can we make these characters a little bit more real? I mean,
he's
come
he's
on.
doing yeah. Billy Bob Thornton just doing an impression of himself in wearing a cowboy hat, really. Um,
Yeah,
Essential.
yeah. I mean, I like him,
I
but I
like.
mean,
Yes, I agree. I do like him. He's good.
you got to give these guys a little, these aren't caricatures, right? I mean, come on, right? So whatever. But aside from that, those two big points, minor points, I actually enjoyed it. That was a good watch. Right up, if you enjoy a lot of his other shows, which there's obviously a laundry list of shows that he's done, produced, written. and successful shows, mind you, these aren't just one and done shows. Then you're gonna enjoy, typical fashion. A lot of shenanigans going on, legal activity, legal leads. So it's a little mixture of various other shows put together. I don't think this is a Yellowstone of oil. It doesn't strike. The first
No,
episode doesn't strike me because that's more of a family drama,
sure.
right? And this is more industry driven, of course, because obviously now you find out they're being sued, and I find oh shit, there's a whole lot of shit going on, and that whole I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with the missing jet, and the drug deal. Yeah, sitting right off the bat. I'm like, Jesus, man. What is
Yeah, listen. I think this is one of his weakest shows. I really do. It's not a bad show. I'm I'm watching it. I was like, okay, I like Billy, but he really Bob's he's carrying this on his shoulders. He really is,
yeah.
right?
I
It's put
mean, he does bring a whole lot of humor.
yeah, and it's
The character may not be real. It's still funny.
no, he's funny that he keeps us afloat because listen, the oil industry, it is what it is, right? Good thoughts, bad thoughts. I'm sure everyone has their opinions, but it's not exactly the industry you kind of root for, right? Or get behind. Make a lot of money. I get it. People hate him. Fair enough. Either way, but this show doesn't portray him in that light other than that we kind of stereotypically know of the oil business, right? When we think of the oil business, okay, this is exactly what people may not be enamored with that industry.
Well, but again, it is exaggerated to the
No,
nth
it's a
degree.
jet, but it plays on the stereotype. But that said, there's
I
nothing
mean, I
real.
mean, come on, making
There's no,
deals
yeah.
with cartel with the
Listen,
cartel
of
with
course it
land,
is.
that's
It's
different.
very just
I
like
mean,
most drugs.
running
Yeah,
running wells that are not up to code. I mean,
right.
I would say maybe 30 years ago, this was spot on.
Sure,
Absolutely,
and that's
it
that's
is. It
fair.
was
But
just
but but
run
right.
and
But,
gun.
but I think a lot
It
of
was
people
the
don't.
old west,
I like people.
misogynistic, and
Yeah.
do whatever, and did and then they clean up their act. That's for sure, because you don't hear about accidents like this
Oh no no
anymore.
no, and I
Well,
think
not to
that's
this
I
extent.
think that's a problem with the show is that it's hard to get behind anybody here. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Well, maybe the son,
Maybe perhaps the
because he's
son, but
trying,
it's early.
he's
But
trying to.
but he's not the
I
main
mean,
focus. The
he
main
deserves
focus
some.
is Bailey Ball, who's cool.
Well, yeah, because he's the fixer. He's the
Right,
guy
he's the
who is.
guy. Right, he takes care of business
Yeah.
and hides stuff or whatever. But again, it's hard to root for anybody and that's the thing. The only issue with the show is like there's no one really get behind, and it's
Well,
early. It's
someone
early.
developed it because I like him. I mean, he's not a bad guy. I mean, he's just fixing things, but he's not. I'm not sure if he's involved with this drug deal. That's to be
Well, I
determined.
don't think so. But I mean,
Um,
he
yeah.
knows who he is. He's not pretending to be otherwise. So he's not like
No,
he's
no, no,
yeah
no, no,
he's
no.
yeah.
He's not. He's not
Which is
just
one thing
violent.
I do give it credit. He doesn't try to put on a face and he's a nice guy, but behind the scenes, he is who he is from the get go.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
He's not
Yeah,
pretending to be something that he's not,
right.
or
He knows what he
portray something to
is.
something he's
Yeah.
not.
So
Right.
which I find interesting, but. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's hard because it's hard not to compare him with his own stuff, right? You set a bar a certain level, and that's what you expected, for better or
Well, yeah,
worse,
I mean, we
right?
got them in that, what was the lawyer show on Amazon? It was a three-season run on Amazon. He was a lawyer, remember? Broken down lawyer.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about. Oh man,
I
Goliath.
can't remember. Yes, yes,
Yes.
which we liked him, right? He said
Yeah.
the first couple seasons,
Yeah.
which we liked him. But
Yeah.
again, it's still a character, arrogant. But then he's coming from a bad place. He was a drunk. He was beaten down. There was some
Right.
things that going on. He kind of revived his career
Yeah.
and his life,
He's
right?
very self-aware
Here,
and
here
he
he
owns it, right?
is.
Yeah, he owns it.
Yeah, he's a mess. This guy's a mess. He's in massively in debt. Doesn't really know how to parent.
He's a disaster.
Yeah.
But it show's fine. It's like I said, it's just there's other stuff. I mean, if you haven't your Paramount, there's other stuff. Lioness is a much better show, for example, which is shot at Sheridan. Tulsa,
At this point, yes, absolutely.
yeah, Tulsa King's a better show than this in
I
terms of
mean,
right
Linus is giving
Kingstown.
us essentially Call of Duty every other episode, which I'm
Yeah,
loving.
it's cool. It's really intense. So
Watch it for those.
this one just seems a little bit like I don't know. It's okay, and I
Let's
guess
see, let's see, let's see, let's
exactly
see.
it may
It's
get
not
better,
bad.
but yeah, but I'm not giving like a high recommendation right now. There's other stuff
That,
to
that's why
watch.
that's why painting these people into caricatures
Yeah,
or exaggerations of elements and greatly exaggerated is really not enticing me to pull for anyone in particular, right? At least with
right.
with Tulsa King, we know who Stallone is, but we pull for him because he's not being a bad guy. I
No,
mean, yes, he's a crime
and
boss, he's a
exactly,
con.
and he's very likable for the most part.
Yes, yeah.
You know, and just
But when it comes, when he's gonna kill someone, he'll kill someone. I mean,
of
no
course,
bones
yeah.
about
But he
it.
just, but
It's a
he has,
hero.
he's his
Like
he's
Mayor,
his heart's in the right
Mayor,
place. Right? He's in the wrong business,
yeah.
but it's his heart's in the right place for the most part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then Jeremy Renner writes again. He's not he was a criminal as well, but he's trying to do good. But when it comes down to it, he's got to make choices and he'll do what he has
yeah.
to do. But he's not a bad guy. You can pull for someone like that,
Of
right?
course, absolutely,
Here's the
absolutely, yeah,
corrupt elements around him, right?
yeah.
This one is like you don't know who to root for yet because I'm not sure if
Yeah, and
anyone.
that's my biggest issue. Is like
Maybe maybe
you gotta
maybe
get
the
behind,
old
you gotta
guy,
get behind somebody. You know, at
maybe
one
the
of these
old guy at
shows.
the house who's trying not to look at the daughter and that's
Oh my god, that was
strategy.
pretty funny though. That's pretty funny. Like I said, it has moments, potential. I'm not there yet. I'll keep watching it, but I'm not there yet. Next one, Max Dune. Of course, Dune Prophecy, the highly anticipated prequel to the Dune films and all that, very
I
successful
don't know. I
films.
don't know if it's highly anticipated, but
Well,
whatever.
fair enough. I mean, listen, the films are big. You know, I like the movies a lot. Make a lot of money, etc. But this one, a prequel, like what 10,000 years
Oh,
before
roughly, yeah.
before the events, I guess. You know, what are focusing on the sisterhood or whatever the case is. For those who are familiar with the Dune, this is obviously is made for Dune fans, and if you're not a Dune fan, don't bother watching.
You're not gonna care. Yeah.
Exactly. If you're a Dune fan, I mean, I heard mixed things about this, but I gotta say, first episode surprised me. I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was better than I was anticipating.
I
Um,
did. I
yeah,
did. I like when because obviously the movie is really very light on the lore and kind of giving us a background of where this is in context of the universe, right? We're thrown into their Harkonnens and the Atreides and the Emperor and this whole thing about spice and blah blah blah. Okay, but do they really explain this? The background? Not really, because there's no time for it, right? At least this one really sets up those movies and it's explaining, where we are
sure.
now. I question after 10,000 years, have things not really advanced that much? But
That's
whatever.
exactly what I was gonna say. Like 10,000 years,
I'm like,
and it's the
huh.
same thing, right? The technology is the same. It's like 10,000. That's a long time.
That's
Spice.
not, that,
They were
look,
doing the
that's not a
spice in like
long
yeah.
time. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, like, things can advance in 1,000, 100 years,
That's what I'm
and here's
saying.
10,000 years. I'm like, the
And
same type of
just
shielding,
seeing
same type of
technology.
ships,
It's
no robots.
it's
Huh.
weird. It's
At least
odd.
they
Yeah.
explain that. At least they give us a glimpse of flashback of the AI uprising
Oh
and all
right,
that.
right,
That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
So, okay,
But
but 10,000 years seems like a very long time
that's
for
a
not
long.
much to change.
There's no involvement. They're still doing spice. They can't
I
find anything
mean,
but the
even in
spice. I
Star
mean, come on.
Wars, things evolve, right? It's things evolved in Star Wars, with weaponry and everything.
Sure, sure. I mean,
But this is like nothing.
yeah,
Okay,
but
okay,
that's
fine,
one thing
whatever.
that, for as with the world building that it does, and it does well. But it's like, man, like I said, they're still mining the same spice.
Why couldn't they say 1,000 years instead of 10? I mean,
Yeah,
whatever.
100 years I would have bought one like 200. But yeah, it's like okay, we're still with the spice. There's nothing else but spice in 10,000 years. They couldn't find anything. It's just like say Atreides. Nothing's changed. Like we're still dealing with the same stuff we're dealing in Dune. It's like I found that odd. I did, but on its surface, I enjoyed it. If you're a Dune fan, it's good. I liked it. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully it continues. So it's actually much better than I thought it was going to be. Next one, Hulu. We had a show called Interior Chinatown, which is actually based off a book. It's actually it's funny. Before I started watching this show, look at my stepdaughter's reading list that she has upcoming. This was one of the books that was on there. And I was like, oh, I didn't know it was a book. And by the title, you realize that interior in Chinatown means interior, but from a script. The book is very kind of tells it from a perspective of people filming a show and all that, right? Which I always know,
And this,
which is why interior Chinatown,
mm,
because that's interior is
yeah.
a code that word that they use in scripts to describe where they're at. By the way, so we have here a young Asian waiter. His brother died years ago. He was a martial arts expert, I guess, like a better word. High aspirations, and he's bored with his life. He's one of those that where am I going? I want to be a bigger part of something. He describes himself as a side character, almost like in a television show, and he wants to be the hero. And he finds himself now working with the police to solve a mystery in Chinatown, and which involves his brother who disappeared as he was working for the police at the time. Sounds kind of generic or basic for the most part, but the kick here is that what I kind of liked about it is the approach because this one, I guess he talks about like police procedures on TV and whatever, and kind of compares his life. How come he
And
can't
it
be like
gives us
that?
Law and Order.
Yeah,
Literally.
it's very Law and Order. It's very '90s kind of style thing. And whenever he's involved with the police or whatever, the show changes the look perspective into one of those shows. It looks different. A lot of the tropes that they use in all these shows and the music and even intros to the characters, stuff like that. So I found that fascinating because it reminds me of a show called on AMC, which I watched recently because I never seen it before. Kevin Can Fuck Himself was the name of the show,
Ah, yeah.
where it was the wife who wanted to kill her husband, and every time the husband's in the scene, it's filmed as a regular sitcom, multiple cameras, crowd laughing, and then when he's not anyone in the scene, it's filmed like a drama. So it goes back and forth. So it kind of reminded me of that very interesting take and approach to narrative. Um, this one, yeah, listen, overall, I like that approach. It's kind of cool and funny to see, kind of the tropes that they use. And it's very meta when it comes to these tropes of the police stuff and things that are happening make you think, is he in reality? Is in his imagination? Like things going on? Like,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
that's what I was wondering sometimes. Where yeah, the distinction between what's real and what's in his head, and is it really happening? Because it's like he's watching it as in a
yeah,
show,
like he can't even
right?
enter a police station. Like he's not literally can't enter the door, closes on him constantly, and
Yeah,
yeah,
it seems like a GTA where you need to be the right rank or the right character to get in certain places.
yeah, yeah,
He's literally one of them. At first, he's nobody. One of them. They literally can get in. He's gonna take over the IT role in order to get actually inside and do police work. And so, okay,
yeah. It's really very generic names. Oh, I'm the IT guy, or his brother's name was the kung fu guy, right? It's very generic terms that you see,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um,
The Chinatown expert and all that stuff, and
exactly. Yeah.
it, it's
Heck, he's building up to becoming the main character in whatever this story he's trying to tell. Listen, very interesting. I'm enjoying it. The Taika Waititi did the first episode. It's funny at times. It's a little campy, but in a good way. It's original. So get credit. Credit. Actually, I read the synopsis of the book, and it's not say pretty different from this. Taking the aspects of the book. The book seems kind of interesting. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It's like I think I'm four in. So this is like a recommend for me, Chewy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. If you can get used to the style and the way that this is being shown to you, then I think you might enjoy it. This can be very divisive. It could turn off a lot of people
Sure.
because it's not your typical, method of storytelling or presenting a story or a unique story in this case, and mixing between the Law and Order production to what's really going on to the stuff in the restaurant. That like we had a big gang fight. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
It was like so steady. It was like so weird. Like the next day, it's as if it never happened. It happened, but they already cleaned up and it's all good and stuff forgotten at that point. But so there's a lot of stuff going on that's shown in a very unique way, and whether that your question whether it actually happened or not, because the events are
It seems like he's
what's
on a
what's being told from his perspective seems to be true,
yeah.
but then it switches to the show or type of show, and it's like, okay, was that really what's going on, or is this he just filling in the gaps with what he wants to happen in order to achieve his goal, right? Which is solve his brother's murder
Right.
or find out what happened to
Disappearance
him
or whatever. Yeah,
eventually.
exactly. Like I said, it's an interesting way of approaching. It seems like it's just
Because there's several like within episode retakes or redos, right? And there's one episode where he's there with the cop he's helping. She was in Marvel. I can't remember her name. Um, she played Quake in Agents of Shield.
oh
Uh,
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I wasn't a
yeah,
huge fan of the show, but yeah,
yeah, yeah, she's like the hanger on. She's not one of the two main cops, but she's trying to elevate herself and to be taken seriously, right? So she tapped to get in there. But there's this retake where the two main cops come in and he doesn't get through. It's like okay, it's like you go they get like the rewind and they try another line. It starts over again. I'm like, what is going on?
yeah.
And so he finally gets it.
But that's part of the mystery. Right? It seems like it's a show within a
Yeah,
show kind of deal. Some along those lines. Okay, kind of very fascinating to see how this ends up. But I mean, it's better than I thought. I was surprised. I didn't quite think what the show was gonna be this, right?
yeah.
So I personally like something different, unique, and this is what the show gives you. So if you that sounds like you, for sure. Next one, Adoration. Netflix is another girl gone missing, teenager. Those are trying to find out what happened. Secrets get unlocked, etc., etc. It's an Italian show, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I saw a couple, not even, and I was out. I just
No, I can't blame you. It's
yeah,
very
generic.
it, it's it's very vanilla,
Yeah,
very generic. I was expecting more because obviously we've seen a number of
for
shows,
sure. 100 of these on
Italian
Netflix. Yeah.
productions that we really enjoy. They're really
Yeah.
good, you know.
Hmm.
The Rome show with the gangs and the gypsy. That was, I mean, I
Yeah.
love that still, man. Now we even give us a spin-off, which I really enjoy. This is not that. This could be
Yeah.
slap any U.S. tween uh, drama, high school drama show, and this is what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
And
and
so,
it's 100 of these. Really, it's like no, there's a lot better shows to
yeah.
watch, and no one's
Mhm.
likable. There's another problem. No one's unlike anybody in the show. It's just like okay, even the girl's not that
Yeah.
likable. So yeah, it's a hard pass, hard pass.
Mhm.
Next, Cruel Intentions on Amazon releasing 8 episodes. It's of course a reimagining, rebooting, or whatever. Of course, the film with Reese Witherspoon, Ryan Philippe, I believe that's his name.
Mhm.
Back in the day, we have the characters, step brother, step sister, who are entitled, rich, of course, in a high end school, and their basic purpose in life is to ruin everyone's lives, right? They manipulate them, sexually, whatever the case is, blackmail them, etc., just for sport, if you will. So this one kind of takes the same thing, same kind of premise for the most part. Um, if you're familiar with the movie, familiar with the show. This one doesn't quite work. The movie wasn't great to begin with, but I give it credit. It tried to be edgy, sexually, and the stuff that it did. This one just kind of like basic blackmailing, nothing unique or nothing edgy about it. It's not nothing sexual about it. That really, just like it tries and it doesn't work for me. It's just like a poor creation of a mediocre film, right? And stretched out in 8 episodes. That's the way I looked at it. I just was not a fan. Chewy.
It's hard to like any of these folks.
And
Uh,
that's and
because
it's like a theme. It's like a theme this week with this stuff. But yeah,
that's the biggest problem
yeah,
with it. Yeah, well, again, it probably exaggerates the Greek system.
of course.
Probably not as much as Landman, a little bit, but I mean, yes, it is very, yeah,
Kind of.
flickish to
I mean, it's not Animal
use
House,
the
but you know,
definitely not, but it definitely it does in that respect, so even with some of the hazy, that does happen, and it still happens. It's still ongoing.
right.
It's very close knit. Who do you know? How much money do you have? From a lot of the for a lot of not all of them, but a lot of them are that way where you have to leave a certain look or certain background, right? Which is very which puts me off immediately, right? Right off the bat. But these characters are just like not
They're
likable.
not
They're just
likable,
complete
and
assholes, man.
well, the one,
They
the
they
and the
don't.
one likable character, the one I guess the hero, protagonist of the story, protagonist, sorry, is
Oh, the
is the
stepbrother.
yeah, well, no, the no, no well, no, but the president, the vice president's daughter, who just started going to school there, which becomes
Oh well, yeah, because
yeah,
she's the normal
and
one
she
there.
becomes the
Right.
target of the brother and sister to try to get him to the fold
Yeah.
to boost their legacy, whatever. But she's supposed to be the likable one, but even her, it's just like she's too stupid. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like she's. I don't know. She's the decisions she makes and who it just doesn't make sense. And she's not as likable as I would. She's the only one that should have been likable. Everyone else is just listen. They're rich, white, and I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, and it's hard to relate to that. We didn't grow up like that. It's just not us, and it's not a lot of people. And
No,
if you can't
it's
like,
not,
yeah,
but
if you can't like the
it
main
comes
characters,
off because it paints them exactly as the stereotypes
exactly,
of how
yeah,
people will see it
yeah,
because
fair or unfair,
they
right?
don't
Because
nothing
I'm
else
sure that I don't like
out for
that,
themselves, don't care who they hurt, don't care who
yeah,
they destroy. It's all about them, me, and the hell with the rest of the world. And I'm like,
exactly,
you know
yeah.
what? After that, I don't want to see you.
And that could work if we had some good protagonists to go with it, and it just doesn't do that, right?
Yes,
Because
yes,
you need good villains, and the villains are there. You just don't have any good someone to root for to go against them. That's the problem.
yes, absolutely.
The film did a better job with Witherspoon's character. But yeah, so that said, it's a pass, no doubt for me anyway. Last one, the season 2 of based on a true story. This one's on Peacock, releasing its
Yeah,
8 episodes. This one I think I've seen like 5, so I've got more deep into this one. It's about 30 minutes, so it's very short. This one's
yeah,
with Kylie Cuckoo's main character, her and her husband, who decide in the first season to do a podcast about true crime. She's a huge true crime nut, and I think they were focused on serial killers and actually end up meeting a serial killer
I really
who becomes a subject anonymously of their own podcast, so they get involved with him and Of course, then now they're so deep that have to kind of cover up what he does, and they can't turn him in because
They
it's
were
too
on
late.
it, and
Yeah,
then
they're in on it for this accomplices to some degree. But now obviously the events of season one ended. Season two, now they're trying to get past all the things that happened. They thought they were out of the lives of of the serial killer, but he comes right back into the lives, and he's trying to walk a straight and narrow. But now there's apparently another killer on the loose, and they kind of get entangled in that, and a cop who's investigating them, unbeknownst to them. So yeah, this one's it's kind of a mystery comedy kind of thing with the podcast. It sounds familiar. There's only murders in the building, and this is not that. Not even close.
but they're not doing the podcast anymore. At least in the last the episodes I've seen,
Yeah.
they didn't pick.
Well, no, that's the first. Well, it's fair enough, but I think no, they kind of she is going back to that, and like, but more using.
Oh, she doesn't. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you're
Well,
using
okay.
like TikTok instead of like a podcast per se, right? Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
TikTok
Yeah.
personality, because that's like the thing now with TikTok and getting the views. So she kind of gets involved in that, unbeknownst to the husband, and etc. She kind of goes on the rogue, if you will. Um, yeah, listen, it's fine. It's funny at times. It's cool. Okay. I mean, it's Peacock, so if you're limited what streaming services you have, this happens to be one of them. I guess not a great recommendation, but it's not a bad show. It's not a great one. It's just okay. Joey.
I like it. I mean, I'm enjoying it. Again, the fact that it's 30 minutes is like the perfect
That
size.
is agreed. Yeah.
Anything longer, I would probably not enjoy it. Anything shorter, it's like,
Yeah, you're right.
no.
And that's what keeps because it keeps it kind of flowing really really
Yeah,
well. The pacing.
the pace is great. It
Yeah,
keeps you moving. Gets to the comedy. Gets to the point of the story. Doesn't drag things out. Doesn't do a whole lot of filler.
yeah,
Meat and potatoes. Let's go.
yeah. It is, and I'll give which is why, like I said, I'm enjoying it because of those reasons, right? Because you're right. If it would have been like 45 minutes.
I'd be like,
The, the,
well, I mean, not that I'm enjoying it, but I only think I need 45 minutes of this. I can take, I like my 30 minutes.
right.
I don't need 45 minutes.
Exactly. So it knows what it is and it's quick. So I'll give it credit for that. It's not a bad show. It's just fine. It's a cool show. If you like if you're a true crime nut, whatever, this is kind of cool to watch. In the vein of Only Murders, I keep comparing it because it's kind of similar, as
Yeah.
far as stories. But that show's obviously a lot better than this. But that being said, it's not bad. I'm not raving here. I get it, but it's okay. And if you want to give it again, to give it a shot, season two,
Better
obviously you could do worse.
intentions and adoration. So, skip
Oh no,
those,
listen, yeah,
hit this one.
exactly. So what? And again, in the world of Peacock, there's not many good shows to watch anyway. So to be fair,
Yeah.
so whatever. But
So I am enjoying the
the
Jackal.
Jackal was,
Surprisingly so.
Jackal was cool. I did like that. So
Though I do question, why did I drop 5 episodes and then go weekly? I don't know what line they're trying to tell me. I mean, I saw the first episode. I was like, oh man, talk about a cliffhanger ending. Okay, fine. I thought that was the end of the season. Then I see it's dropping every Thursday. I'm like, what?
yeah,
Like, what's going
it's an
on?
odd choice in
That
number
was
of
so
episodes. But
weird.
the Jackal's actually a pretty good show. Eddie Redmayne that's playing an assassin and all that. So I did enjoy that one. It
Yeah.
shows. It's not all crap. It's just not in the upper echelon
I
of
just
streaming
question,
services,
why
right?
did you drop 5 and then go weekly? I'm like, either drop two and go, or just drop the whole
Yeah,
thing
it's
because this whole
weird.
5 and it's back every week is like
Yeah,
so off
Jack
putting.
for the
And
promotion.
it's a
Yeah,
really
and
good show. I really
and
enjoy
they're
it. He did
pushing
a
the
great
show.
performance. He's a great assassin, man.
No, it's really cool. But you're right, and they're promoting the shit out of the show. They should be weekly. If you right, drop two and
Yeah.
then keep going. You got football on your side. That's your key to
Mhm.
promote all. And Jack was a show, probably the demographic those who watch football. You already promoted it during football. I see
Mhm.
the commercials when I'm watching. Hello, do it weekly, whatever. They know more than we do.
Okay.
We can second guess Monday quarterback
I
all
don't know
we want,
about
but
that. 'Cause it's spinning off, all that, including Peacock. So maybe they don't know more than us. I'm just saying.
I would assume so. They're in this position for a reason. We'll second guess all we
That,
want. Yeah.
that's like saying, Kathy, can you know Star Wars? Well, I
Well,
saw you
I don't know
wrong,
about
dude.
all that. And there are some things we can't say. Listen, what's she doing there? That's a. I don't even want to get. But
After all this time, and they're still getting it wrong. Why is she still there?
I,
Not because they know more than us,
I,
but
I,
maybe they do.
I don't
What?
want to tell you, but she's got something on somebody. That's all I'm saying, dude. I mean, it's gonna be a show about this. The executive producer who had blackmailing everyone to keep her in power. I don't know how to tell you because I don't know. It's Captain Kennedy, so whatever. Speaking of which, he has another show dropping pretty soon. So let's get into it. Give it 2 weeks here. What's coming out? A lot of stuff over next 2 weeks, over the holiday week, of course, Thanksgiving. So you might have more time to watch some of this stuff. First one coming out of the gate is Cold Case.
Oh, well,
Oh,
hold on. I did miss one last week, and it just came up. Tex-Mex Motors actually came back for season two. It must have come out this week and I missed it. That was it was the car show. It was based here in Texas, I think El Paso. They tell us how they go buy cars in Mexico, flip them, and bring them here to the U.S.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
actually enjoyed season one a
Okay.
lot. So this just stopped season two.
Oh,
I started watching that last night.
well,
I'm
there
like,
you go.
okay, well there you
That's
go.
another. I have to add that
Okay.
to the list because I did like that one. So,
The rabbit guy, I've seen his videos on social media. He's a car salesman. He's had a career in cars, sold cars on eBay, Google, Amazon, whatever. He's been a very successful sales guy. I mean, when you look at him and you hear him talk, he's like, you just want to like, sell me something, I'll buy it, man. kind of
it's like, all right, he
guy.
got me. Take my money. No, but that's a cool one. I didn't know it was back on. Okay, I'll watch that for sure.
Yeah.
So we got on the 25th. I think it's on. I don't know what day that is.
Uh,
Monday. Actually, Monday. They're starting up pretty early this week. So Monday we got Netflix
oh,
dropping. Probably because of the holidays, dropping shows a little earlier. So Cold Case, who killed uh,
he's on
John Bet Ramsey.
Ramsey.
It's another murder mystery docu series, I guess, crime thriller kind of
And
thing.
that's better. I mean, like I said, this is one that's relevant to us because we were alive
Correct.
when this happened, and it was just you know.
This one I'm curious because I didn't know too much about it, but I'm curious to
Well, we
see.
got to hear, who was suspected, and
Yeah.
everyone solved it. We didn't solve it. It's still an open case. I'll just say this. It's funny how we're enthralled with a young white girl when this it's just here's all the rest of us. Whatever.
Mac,
Time it doesn't.
Mac opinion,
So
Mac,
go
Mac
there.
opinion gets killed. Nobody cares.
Yeah, no one
Nobody,
cares.
nobody
No one
bats
says
an eye.
no one bats an
It
eye.
is what it is. So then
What the
next
hell, man? What the hell?
we got Max on a Monday, rare release for Max. Interesting choice. Get Millie Black. This is
Mm-hmm.
I guess she's an ex Scotland Yard detective or whatever, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
that's correct.
And she's investigating missing person or whatever, which leads to we know how
Some
this
thriller.
thriller release
Mhm.
to a big mystery behind it. We know how this goes, but whatever. It's Max, so I have confidence in him.
Like I said, the British media has a stranglehold on good murder mystery
Yeah,
shows, and this is what they know from. And
they do
they
very well with
produce
this
them.
police procedural kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
they put them out fairly frequently,
Yeah.
and you would think again another one, but you can't help but watch because it's so good.
No, but it's again it goes back to execution. You're gonna give me same old, execute it well. And that's
Yes,
what they do, right?
exactly.
No, I have no problem with that. Listen, there's only so much you can do with these kind of shows, but just do it well. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm curious about this one. Next one, this is one that's interesting. It's in the game, Madden NFL. This is a docu series on Amazon about the making, of
Yeah.
course, Madden, one of probably the top franchise in sports and video games for sure. One of the top 4 or 5
Oh, yeah, I
franchises
mean, it
historically speaking.
launched Electronic Arts to Stratosphere. Um, Now it's funny because we had an episode on this on Game
I did
Changers,
see that. I
which is
started
on.
watching Game Changers on HBO.
And
Yeah,
so you saw, so
yeah.
I'm sure we're going to see a lot of it, what we saw there. Now there was only 30, 40 minutes, so it's obviously a very condensed story, very
Sure.
quick, but give you the nuggets, give you what you wanted and where it started to where it is. I think obviously it's going to give a bigger deep dive, and so
It
since
was
we all
actually it's
love
interesting
man
because I didn't know
at some point.
even though in the HBO one I didn't know a lot of stuff they were talking about. I had not known
Oh
that.
no, yeah, we
Yeah,
don't always
some of it,
remember
but
is
not a
okay.
lot of it. So I'm
We
like,
saw
oh,
Madden
yeah.
on Sega, and we were hooked, right? I
Oh my god,
mean,
yeah, of
we
course.
remember the pixelated ColecoVision of football and all these, even Tecmo Bowl, where it's
Yeah,
like only 8 plays, and there was obviously, if you had Bo
Bo
Jackson, you weren't
Jackson
going to lose.
baby,
You weren't gonna
up
lose.
down, all the way across.
There you go.
The glory days of
uh,
football. No, but Madden's of course. Again, Madden has transcended the genre of video games, right? We know
oh yeah,
everyone knows Madden. They
absolutely.
know the name, the game, of course. So I'm very fascinated by this one. So I'll definitely be watching that on the 26th. Sorry for the holiday. On the 27th, we got a volume something 1,000 of Chef's Table. I mean, I
Hey,
like
we
these
never
shows.
miss
I
a
watch them.
point. Yeah.
So letting you guys know another one's
We
coming out.
love, we're foodies. We love to eat, and we want to see
Of
good
course,
cooking.
and then it's actually a good series. Don't get me wrong. We got The Madness on Netflix on the 28th. I think that's Thanksgiving, isn't that? I don't mean, yeah, it's Thanksgiving.
Uh, I believe so.
That's a little
They're
thing.
pushing. I've been seeing advertising for that every time I put on the show. That stars Domingo. Oh God,
I
man, I
don't
can't
know his name,
remember
to be
that.
honest with you, but yeah,
But well, I know him from the Fear the Walking Dead series. That's what I remember.
that's why I don't watch that show. So there you go. Yeah, but I guess he's kind of framed for murder of white supremacists. Something like that.
Potentially, yeah,
Yeah,
like I said, obviously,
yeah,
I haven't seen the trailer, but from the
yeah,
commercials, he's been framed or he's been set up.
yeah.
And I guess that's just trying to clear his name. I guess
Yeah,
I'm not
it's a
exactly sure,
limited
but
series, if I understand. So why not? The next day on Friday, when everyone's like in a turkey coma, you can also put on Senna. This is a Netflix show, a true story about. I guess he was a F1 star, Brazilian racer. Back in the day, I guess ended up tragically, from what I understand. So this is about his story. So if you're an F1 fan, why not? And
Mhm.
on the 29th, Paramount, well, technically Showtime, whatever, both the agency, a star-studded show here. You get Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Richard Gere. I mean, it's
Is,
big names.
is this Showtime or is this Paramount? I thought it was
It's
Paramount.
Paramount Showtime.
Ah,
Yeah,
God damn,
it,
I did that trip.
I,
God
I'm
bless.
always. I want to probably. I'm on Showtime, but I'll wait till Yellow Jackets before I dive into that.
Son of a
Which is
bitch.
it's coming
All
out
right,
in a
whatever.
couple of months. So yeah, but it looks cool. I mean, I guess like a political thriller kind of thing. So, but again, the cast is great. Doesn't mean everything, but it's there. So why not? The following week, starting the first, MGM. So those five people just like, what? Oh, MGM's got a new show. Wow. Whew, that I'm always wasting my money monthly
Well,
here.
the finishing from today, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that's why now they're dropping it. They're like the anti Apple. They wait for when to finish it before they drop a new one.
Exactly, which is yeah, other one's a good approach, I guess, depends how you look at it. But yeah, Earth Abides. This was like a sci-fi show, post-apocalyptic
Dystopian,
kind of
yes.
thing,
Yeah.
where the guy's trying to rebuild society, civilization, whatever, or something along those lines. I don't know too much about it. I know you have MGM, so look for your opinion on that. And here we go on the third. Take this for what it's worth. Another Star Wars show is coming out. I guess we should be excited. The Skeleton Crew. This one here. See,
As you've said on Nerd Explaining, you want this show to be the greatest thing since sliced
this
bread, so Captain
this
K can
show
get the
will be
fuck
the
out.
greatest show. My highest recommendation out of the year. I'm saying in advance, the highest recommendation probably in the last 5 years. I mean, maybe I don't know. You're talking about The Wire, Breaking Bad, and then Skeleton Crew right above that. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's that good. So this one taking a lot more family friendly approach. So I may not like it just because it's not my demographic, not because it's not good, but it's not demographic. We'll see it Star Wars, so we're idiots, so we'll watch it because that's what we do. The
I
20,
think it's cops. I'm
yeah, so listen,
sorry.
it is what it is. The next day, the fourth, we got Churchill at War documentary, of course, about Winston Churchill, huge figure, of course, in British and really American history because he's his involvement with the World War II, etc., etc. So if you're history buff, you got that one for you. Same day in the fourth, we got That Christmas is an animated. It's like 100,000 Netflix Christmas movies that come out. We're not gonna highlight 99.9% of them.
No, but this looks unique. It looks fun.
Yeah, it's an
It's
animated
animated.
one. Looks interesting. I guess Santa's in this one particular town, and
Mhm.
then a huge snowstorm, and a lot of it focuses on the individual stories with people in that town he's trying to save. It looks fun. Looks kind of fun. So I'll give this one a shot. It's not your Hallmark-ish Netflix kind of.
No,
We know that now. Lindsay
it's not
Lohan's
the
got like
Hallmark
eight of them
one.
already. I don't know that she's trying to eat. She got to
Yeah.
eat. That's fine. I get it. But Lindsay Lohan, come on, you can do better than that. The fifth, we have Creature Commandos, another animated show on Max. I think the fifth is a Thursday, so the Thursday drop, of course, the first actual project of the new DCU, right? Penguin's kind of his own thing. This one's actually part of the universe that James Gunn, of course, who heads it, is trying to do. This is like it's Suicide Squad animated style. It's kind of what it reminds me of. It's kind of what it is. So
Mm.
whatever, we'll give it a shot. Maybe it's good. I hope it is. So on the fifth, we got Elizabeth Swann's retired from her swashbuckling days, so now she's a spy. Of course, Keira Knightley. She's been married to the U.S. senator or Congress, whatever, but she's a spy sharing secrets she gets from him, and then a guy she's seeing gets killed, and now she's out for revenge to find out who it is and partners with another friend who's in whatever agency she's a part of. So it could be interesting. I like Keira Knightley. Prime, interesting show. In the sixth, we got Sticky. The Sticky. It's kind of a comedy heist, right? Something like that.
Yes,
Interesting
that
heist,
is
but not heist of
correct.
money.
Correct.
It's a heist of honey. They're trying to. I guess a woman's got a honey business. Things on grown
A
walls.
honey heist.
Yeah, it's a honey heist. Though it's okay. Sure, you can steal money. You can steal honey, or whatever. So or not honey or syrup. I think it's syrup. Did I say honey?
No. Well, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
it's syrup.
yeah,
But whatever. My
it
bad.
is actually.
It's sweet.
Yeah.
It's sticky. Same
Which,
thing.
which is a big deal in Canada, obviously. We've seen some of the shows, right?
Yeah, this could be
Yeah,
quirky enough to be interesting. Like I
Mhm.
said, being a comedy, okay, this is a drama, like I ain't watching this, but as a comedy, that could work. And then last and definitely not least, we got Machete. the man himself, Danny Trejo, is here doing a docu-series of mysteries on Earth. It's on the History
Mm.
Channel, if I'm not mistaken. One of those, of course, mysteries of Earth and whatever, and not different subjects. But he's Danny Trejo. This is the last guy I thought should be doing any of this stuff. But you want Morgan Freeman, and we got William Shatner in one of these, and Dan Aykroyd's one of Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
The man's got to eat. You got a little Latino flavor in there. It's about time. I mean, you could have got Michael Pena, but we'll take.
Unless they kill him off in the first episode,
Maybe Danny
whatever.
Trejo comes out for like introduces it, you never see him again, and brings some white guy in
Yeah,
there. All right,
exactly.
thank you, Danny, for your trouble here. So whatever. It's one of those kind of docu series on this mysteries on Earth. So yeah, that sounds like your bag. Well, there you go. That said, we'll definitely talk about all the shows over the next couple weeks. Obviously, we'll reconvene next Sunday.
Which reminds me, he was in Heat, which we love, great Michael Mann movie.
Heat, yeah.
But he was the one. Actually, no, they killed. Well, out of all the characters, the bad guys they killed him and the driver, who happened to be people of color. I just say, dude, De Niro. I know,
Val
was it?
Kilmer, De
Yeah,
Niro got
I'm sorry,
killed. Val
Vinny Kilmer.
Kilmer
Yeah,
lives.
okay, okay.
The
That's right.
white guy got lives. Whatever,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
It is what it is. Yeah. It's an age-old story, dude. It's just as old as time, dude. The black guy dies first in a horror movie. Latino guy dies
yeah.
first in any movie. That's just how they sell drugs. What am I going to tell you? Whatever. That said, we're just joking, of course.
I hope they don't kill him off in this first episode, dude. Miss Gina, they're gonna put him.
Don't deport Danny Trejo. That's what I'm saying. Dude. You can get rid of people. Just keep me here. That's what I'm saying. We like that. He's a national treasure. As far as I'm concerned. Machete, for Christ's sake. Come on, bro. But that said, we're back here next Sunday. Of course, after the holiday, everybody enjoy their Turkey Day. Enjoy your football. Of course, on Turkey Day, hope your teams win, unless you're the Cowboys. Because they always put them on Thursday for whatever reason. Enjoy your fantasy teams. I know Chewy's having some success. Not quite as successful as I just leave it at that because we, for the second time, he's in first place. But that neither here nor there. Not doing anything. Show's good, show's bad.
I'm in the playoffs. I have 3 bye weeks to get my shit together. I'm
This is
there.
about honing the
So
team for the next for the money rounds. But that said, of course, we appreciate it. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, the like button, and we'll see you guys next Sunday. Take care.
peace.